Definitely bringing you the Pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go! Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
Episode 467, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Pancakes and Powerslams show. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone here for another episode. We're alive and living color, getting funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah. All right, so let's talking about. We got a lot to talk about. All right, and we're going to do it in a very action-packed time. What's going on, Christopher? As always, that's right, Elvis. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. Time for P&P. Yes, Ricky, it was absolutely cool to be a part of that interview. That was hands down my favorite. My favorite unscripted interview. Hands down, my favorite. He was actually on my bucket list to interview. As many people as I interview, man, I said, man, I want Jim Johnston, and by God, I got him. And so he's a really nice guy, man. We talked for about 25 minutes before the show started. He was just asking me things about therapy and asking things about my job as a psychotherapist and things like that. And we were just talking. We was having a really good, really deep conversation, and he was just really intrigued about just my choice of career practice and therapy and podcasting, and so he was invested in me, and it was really cool, man. It was great to have that, especially from someone like a Jim Johnston, who absolute legend and my favorite theme song composer for sure. So fantastic stuff. That would be great. He'd probably ask me to pay for it, so I'm not going to do that. So, what's up, Alonzo? What I think of Revolution, I think I'll get to the ending. I'll get to the ending. I'll go to the first part, the good part first. I absolutely loved it. I loved the Sting match. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved the Sting match. It was fantastic. It's protected Sting. I personally, Russo didn't. He didn't really agree with Sting going over, but I disagree. I liked it, and Russo and I, cool enough. We don't disagree on hardly anything actually. But yeah, I'm gonna differ when it comes to opinions. When it comes to Sting, I'm a Sting guy. I'm biased in that area, and so I was actually wanting him to pick up the win just because I'm still feeling some type of way about him having such a terrible WWE run. So him picking up the win was a little bit of personal gratification that finally Sting was utilized properly. And he was utilized properly. The match was awesome. I love the cinematic. It protected him. It was great. Big spot by Darby Allin. It was awesome. It was awesome, man. So it was good that it was a tag match to protect Sting, and it was great. That was hands down the best part of Revolution. I'm just gonna go match by match. Yeah, sorry to hear about your cousin, Elvis. He says she's in a better place, so amen to that. So I'm gonna go match by match real quick. Bucks and Inner Circle was good. It was a solid match. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Jericho they lost, but it seems like I don't know what it is, man. That I guess Jericho had his moment, but he's kind of getting back to the I want to put everybody over again. You know what I mean? It's like that was kind of like the Jericho curse that he like wanted to keep putting people over that he never really put people over. It got to the point where you weren't putting people over because you wanted to put everybody over so much. So I'm kind of feeling the Jericho curse again. I really am. I'm just, I'm just, I'm starting to feel that way. Like the poignancy. I mean, the potency, I should say, the potency of Jericho losing. What isn't good. Isn't good. Sting he did not have a good WWE run. He lost to Jericho putting over Fandango again, exactly. Yikes. Gabriel, lastly. Oh gosh, yeah, we'll get to this, Christopher. Oh good Lord. No, Sting had a terrible run in the WWE. Terrible. He lost to Triple H, which meant absolutely nothing. The loss to Triple H was supposed to be to build up Triple H and The Rock for the next year, and it never happened. It was terrible. There was no reason for Triple H to win at WrestleMania, and then he looked like Sting looked like a goof, shaking the hand of someone who just hit him in the head with the baseball bat. Oh, just horrible. Horrible. It was horrible. Absolutely, Dale, he should have won 100%. It would have had more lasting memory of Sting beating Triple H at Mania than Triple H beating Sting. Like it was horrible. See, Ricky, it doesn't matter if people would disagree with that, saying that it doesn't get any bigger than Mania. No. If you're losing at Mania every year, or if you lost to Mania on a spot that you shouldn't, that don't matter. I mean, getting to the dance is one part. Dancing well is another part. You can go to the dance floor, and if you look like a goof, they'll remember you looking like a goof more than you going to the dance floor. That's 100% right there. And Sting, they made Sting look like a goof. A goof. A big goof. What's up, Paul? Yeah, made him look like a goof. The casino tag team royale was it was decent. They always give Jungle Boy some love in these battle royals, which is funny. Sheeta and Mizunami, yeah. I'm just not enthused with the women's division in AEW. I think AEW probably has the worst women's division to me. Like I just don't see it's a character thing for me. I mean, I don't have anything against Sheeta, but it was much better for me when she was chasing, when you're chasing a big heel. Like it has to be that dynamic. It has to be that dynamic. It has to be. And that's the thing. It's just match for match sake. Just horrible. And it's one of those things that I just don't care to see. Women's, I mean, to me, one of the best parts of hold on a second. Let's see. Who's the lastly? Let's go. Let's see. Responding to a message. Yeah, the women's division. I just can't. I'm not intrigued. Oh yeah, I was saying the best. Thank you for putting my analogy over. Getting to the dance is one thing, but dancing well, fantastic. Thank you for putting over my analogy, Paul. And look, here's the thing with the female division, with the AEW, it's just you need that type of dance. I mean, you need that type of face heel dynamic to make me interested, and really to make people interested. And although Sheeta's a great competitor, I enjoy watching her in the ring. I just don't have a reason to care. I don't have a reason to care. Miro, man, he was stiff in that tag match. That's for sure. Yeah, so that was expected. I'm an Adam Page guy. I have a bias toward Adam Page. I really like Adam Page, and so him beating Matt Hardy. The stipulation was weird. The big money match, the first quarter earnings of 2021. That was a really weird gimmick. But at least Adam Page got to win. The match was actually pretty decent. Scorpio Sky winning the Face of Revolution ladder match. Sure. I mean, I think Lance Archer would have been a good person to kind of opposite Darby Allin, but it seems like they're kind of doing the Scorpio Sky deal. Like it's kind of giving them a slow turn to kind of break them away from SCU. I don't see much in that as far as Scorpio Sky being a heel for the TNT title. I don't. Yeah, sure. Whatever. So, yeah. I mean, I like Scorpio Sky. I do, but nah, yeah. I just think that his charisma wise, it's better, charisma wise is better to have him with SCU for sure. Explain. I told you my thoughts on the Darby and Sting against Team Taz, and then here we go. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. Yes, tonight's a dance positive podcast. Indeed, that is the theme for tonight, Paul. The match, exploding death matches isn't necessarily my thing, but I mean, both of them have been in them, and yeah, I mean, for what it was worth, it did the job. It made sense because it was like, okay, the gimmick's been going on for 2 years now between the two, and then exploding death matches. It's like, okay, well, obviously we couldn't settle our differences any other way, so we're doing this. Okay, that makes sense. The match itself was decent. It was cool. I mean, it has some pretty, holy crap spots. Sure. Not necessarily my thing as far as like a memorable match. But it did what it was supposed to do, and major kudos to Omega and Moxley to do that, to be able to do that. So, okay, so let's get to the end of this. Let's get to the end of this. Okay, so at the end, there's a countdown. Moxley's handcuffed. He's in the middle of the ring. There's a countdown. I guess there's supposed to be some type of explosion. I guess the whole ring was supposed to just explode. But guess what happened? Eddie Kingston, he sells it too. He sells the snot out of it. He's like, okay, no, there's no way. First of all, dude, you're looking at the clock. Pull him out of the ring. Like, you're strong enough to just pull him out of the ring. There was clearly more than enough time to pull him out of the ring. To pull him out of the ring. That's for Obama. It was enough time to pull him out of the ring. And all of a sudden, 3, 2, 1, sparkles. That was it. Yes, Gabriel. It's like the fake. It's like the flag coming out of the fake gun that says "bang." Exactly. It was such a letdown. It was It was such a letdown, and for you to build it all like that, and then Khan at the presser, blaming it on something else. No, look, you are a billionaire. You're a billionaire, okay? You could have really made this look good. All right. You could have really, really, really made this look good. You plan, like, your production team planned this out to make it look like that at the end, or you didn't make the effort to find out what the end was. You just set a bunch of pyro, or attempted to, and said, okay, we don't know what's going to happen, and why it was actually a decent pay-per-view. And it's sad because other than the Sting match for me, but just generally, we're going to be known for, like, this pay-per-view is going to be known for that spot, the end spot. And like that end spot just overshadowed everything else. Like it just it's so sad because it was a decent pay-per-view, and that terrible sparkle spot, that's what I'm gonna call it, hashtag it's sparkle spot. That sparkle spot just overshadow the whole pay-per-view. People aren't going to know anything. Like, if people remember AEW Revolution 2001, they're going to remember hashtag sparkle spot. That's what they're going to remember more than anything else. And that's sad too, because it was actually a decent show until then. And then Eddie Kingston. I like Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's pulled through for PNP. I've called Eddie Kingston like a couple minutes before my show, when I was having people on my show again every week on PMP, and Elijah Burke I was having trouble getting a hold of him, and I was staying true to my every week interview, and end up during the show getting a hold of Elijah Burke. But I was like, oh man, I got to get a hold of someone. Called Eddie Kingston on the phone like 2 minutes before the show started. It was like almost 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, man, can you hop on? He's like, sure, I'll do it. And so Eddie Kingston always has a special place in PNP for sure. Same thing with Brian Cage. If y'all remember, a lot of people in PNP who remember that time where Steve Blackman was supposed to be on the show. He had night court. He couldn't do it. Was trying to find somebody. Had to pause the show. It was like 12:30 in the morning, trying to find someone to come on the show. Calling. Reached Brian Cage. Called at Brian Cage. He was actually driving. He was in California, so it was three hours before me. Called Brian Cage. Said, can you come on the show? And he said, yep, I'll do it, because he was actually on the show the week before too. So Brian Cage has a special place in PNP folklore for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm all for Eddie Kingston being successful in AEW, and so I'm all for that. But man, what a horrible way to sell that. And you had to, like, were you forced to sell it? Like, what? The only thing you had to do was just pull him out the ring and have the whole, it was the last match, have the whole ring just explode. Just have the whole ring explode. And so, yeah, that's all you had to do. And yeah, it's one of those, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, you're literally super rich. You have more pyro for wrestlers coming out than you did at that last spot. And yeah, that was a total botch fest for sure. And sad to Kingston, he had to sell it. I mean, Moxley could have sold it for sure. Yeah, it was when Brian Cage was in the car. Yep. Moxley could have sold it. It was no issue with Moxley selling it because for 25 minutes he was beat up by barbed wires and exploding barbed wires and all types of hardcore deathmatch stuff. So he could have easily sold it. But you literally had Kingston, who was well rested at this time, come out, cover Moxley, and hashtag Sparkle spot, and then he had to sell the Sparkle spot and just kind of stay on him. It was getting boozed. Medical team comes out. Whoa, like the medical team comes out for Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. It was really, really bad. All right, let's tackle these Ask Chris questions. Lots and lots of stuff. Let's see. Do you think of new changes with the WWE Network being at Peacock since everything won't be added until August? I mean, it's a better time it's a better opportunity for WWE for sure. Did I have any idea? Christian was rumored. Christian and Angle was rumored. Were two biggest rumors. I love Christian, man. I'm a Christian guy. I am a Christian guy personally, but as far as Christian the character, it was a letdown. It was a letdown. Yeah, it was. Yeah, very, very sad. He was a letdown for sure. So, 47 years old. I just don't see them doing much of anything with Christian. I just. What, are they gonna make him world champ at 47? And here's the thing. I'm a Christian guy. I love Christian. I've always loved Christian more than Edge. I've never really been big on Edge. But Christian, yep, absolutely. Been definitely full support when it came to Christian. But I just don't see AEW doing much with him. I just don't. I mean, what are you going to do with him? He's going to be a mid-carder at best, right? Are you going to make him world champ? I mean, I just don't. I don't see that happening. And it was about opportunity for WWE. I guess, since he's able to wrestle again and the opportunity wasn't there. I get it. If it's a matter of Christian saying, listen, I want to wrestle, I miss wrestling, and WWE saying no, and AEW saying sure, okay, business-wise, all right. I mean, I can't complain about that. I'm not feeding his kids. I mean, I'm not, I'm not feeding his family. He is. So in that sense, sure, do it. But from a fan's perspective, I mean, I don't see much. I don't see much into that. I just don't. Although I'll personally enjoy Christian wrestling, as a fan of Christian, I just don't see AEW using him in a way that is exciting for me to be a part of, to see. Who should lastly defend the WWE title against Fastlane? You know what? Here's the weird part, man. I think it's weird. That they're doing this. But there's a part of me that believes that they want to keep Lashley on the back burner, which maybe is one of the reasons why they're deciding they decided to have him a part of the first segment yesterday. It seems like they probably want to do like a number one contenders match, since they're already going to do the Universal Championship. It seems like they're not going to have a title match for Fastlane for the WWE title. So what it appears is that we'll get Drew and Sheamus number one contenders match for the WWE Championship, as if we don't know who's going to win that one. So predictable booking once again, ladies and gentlemen. Once again. Resident Amos, that would be comedy. Who should main event WrestleMania and why? It would probably be Edge and Roman, just because they have bigger star power. But if you want a feel-good moment, it'll probably be Drew and Lashley, because Drew's going to win. He's going to win on top. He's going to win, and they're going to give him a bunch of pyro, and there you go. Turning Seth Rollins' face. I thought about that. I'd be okay with that. I agree, Ricky. A very weak build. We talk about this all the time on Legion of Raw. I mean, this build has been just horrible. Just a horrible build. Horrible build. Good question, Aaron. Character-wise, I would bring Kong back. I would have her like dominate. It's just character. You just need character. You need just dominating characters, people who actually feel like a menacing heel that you just want to lose. Even if it's Sheeta, even if Sheeta's the person chasing, you want that heel to have that just larger than life, just dominating feel to her. So you have Havoc from Impact. You have Kong. Even if you brought in Su Yung, those are my top three as far as people who have that feel to them that would cause some type of an intrigue. That's really all I can think of. So Christian was a dud. Reveal my opinion. My question: I read reports he was going to wrestle in WWE and a kind of full time, and deal was done. Was that just malarkey from Jump Street? Yeah, I did hear it was some negotiation issues. I personally, like, if it was up to me, I would have had Christian would have stayed in the WWE, and I would have been much more intrigued with an Edge and Christian reunion, and Edge and Christian versus the Dirty Dogs for the SmackDown championships at Mania. That would have been, for me, that would have been much more intriguing than seeing Edge main event. The only reason why this makes sense to me if Roman Reigns just crushes Edge, like, he needs to be over. If it comes close and all that, and Roman Reigns looks weaker than what he is, they can save that. I would have been much more intrigued with a one final Edge and Christian run, personally. Gabriel, I said on Russo, I said with Russo yesterday when we talked about this on the Post Raw show. It reminded me of the Shockmaster. Like, it totally reminded me of the Shockmaster as far as what happened. It was such, and I think that spot will go into infamy as a Shockmaster moment, and it's unfortunate, but I think it will. So I was thinking about this. I actually had a conversation about this. I think right now you're starting to get the WCW TNA feel. Like, It's starting to feel like that when it comes to just grabbing the old WWE guys. And you've got to be very careful about that, because I'm thinking of Christian. I'm like, well, if you Sting well, Sting is making Darby Allin look. He's putting Darby Allin over. I mean, like, he's in a really good spot right now. Darby Allin is a huge spot. I mean, you just tagged with Sting and you won at the pay-per-view. Sting is putting Ricky Starks over because Ricky Starks came from Indies to NWA to tag team in a match against Sting, ladies and gentlemen. So he's putting Ricky Stark and even Brian Cage to us. Then Sting really put all three of them over. I mean, Brian Cage was very successful in Impact, but he really put Darby and Ricky over, and definitely Brian Cage to another level, but definitely Ricky Starks, definitely Darby Allin. But I mean, like, what angle do you put Christian in? You know, simply lose, and I say this all the time. Simply losing a match to a legend isn't putting you over. Like, that whole concept is so antiquated. It's so just put to death. Like, it's just so meaningless at this point. Like, just because you beat a legend anymore, because the booking and making someone look like stars are just it's decreased so much, and putting someone and making them feel like that is just it's horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. So it's you just can't do it. I'm just not interested in that. So yeah, one and done for Sting. No, he actually signed, I think, a 3-year contract or something like that. So I wish it was. I wish it was one and done for Sting, for sure. But it's not going to be. So I'm hoping. And here's the thing. Again, I say, someone beating Sting is not putting them over. Like, that concept is a non-factor anymore. It's not even a thing. So, ugh. And so that means that we're going to have to see Sting lose another match, as if that's going to put someone over. The only way I would be okay with that is that at the end Sting wins, because to me, at this point, the legacy of someone's character is more important. Protecting the legacy of someone's character is more important than just randomly them losing to some current star, as if that's going to put them over. Like, and that's the reason why I respect Shawn Michaels for making the decision that he did. The reason why he didn't want to compete against AJ, because he's like, look, what is that going to do? I mean, he said this before, like, AJ beats me, then what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to compromise my legacy that I've built. I mean, and I totally agree with that. I mean, you spent, like, for the Undertaker, for instance. Why in the world would the Undertaker come back to lose against someone? Like, you've built a character for 30 years, and you're going to lose to Sheamus? Like, you're going to lose to Braun Strowman? Like, no, that their character's been tarnished so much that you spending 30 years to build a legacy. No way. I'm not going to compromise that to lose against Sheamus, knowing that the next week they're going to make him look 50-50. No way. No way. Nope. Nope. Absolutely no. I don't know about deserving a push. Jessica Havoc and Kong versus Baszler, and see, I wouldn't have Baszler on the other end. I think Havoc and Kong is pretty cool, but Baszler is a heel, so I wouldn't have her on the side. The word finally on Raw last night was a clue for Mania. Yeah, we'll see. Strong characters, promos weren't scripted. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. 100%. Because the characters they feel manufactured, because guess what? They are manufactured. It feels manufactured. And so I go into watching wrestling every week. I'm looking at characters that feel manufactured, because guess what? They are. I just had Jim Johnston on my unscripted show right before this. We were talking about theme songs should be for characters. Like you should think of a character and then think of a theme song, not say, okay, well, here's a theme song. I think this goes well with Apollo Crews, right? Like, no, that's not going to that's not going to put an extra much needed layer on someone's character. Not at all. Not at all. And, Jim Johnston, when he was talking, like, look, I was actually putting the much needed elements, the sealing the envelope, so to speak, when it comes to presenting a character to the fans. Nowadays, this music it's loopy. It doesn't feel original. It doesn't feel personal. It feels the same. So not only the scripted promos is making them feel manufactured, the actual theme songs. And to me, theme songs are at least half the importance of your character, at least. Eventually, sure. Yes, Paul, absolutely. Shockmaster moment, man. That's what it is. It's a Shockmaster moment. Sino Suplex, what's up? All right, so let me see. A few more. We probably will see Sting versus Jericho. That's probably going to happen at what is it? All Out, All In. Yeah, that probably will happen All In, which Jericho's one of my top 5, but he's been struggling too. So I just I don't see it. I don't see it. Apollo Crews' heel turn. I'm not buying it so far. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I'm not really buying it so far. Not really intrigued, unfortunately. All right, y'all. That might be it for us today. Patreon.com/pancakes and Powerslams. All right, so yeah, let's discuss Orton. Thank you, Ricky, for that. That's what the headline of the show is about, Orton. Yes, I believe that Orton's the question I asked about Orton. Yes, the angle Orton's getting stale. it's been over 3 months. He burned Fiend in December. That was 3 months ago. And every single week, we've been getting Orton, Alexa. And this is what I shared yesterday at the post-Raw show, the Legion of Raw. Look, why do we even need the Fiend to come back? Why? Because over. He's over. Like he's not. He's done. He like Alexa Bliss is essentially losing. Is essentially putting, making Randy Orton look worse than he is every week. Like she's going over Orton every week with the pentagram crap, with the black goo 3 weeks in a row, with the devil doppelganger. I mean, every week we're getting, like, for the past month, we've got Alexa Bliss going over Orton. I mean, even before that, you put a daggone flame. Like you threw a flame on Orton. Like you're throwing flames at him. You're having him spit up black goo. Like every week, you're essentially beating Orton, and you're, and even worse than that, you're causing him to lose matches. So why exactly do we need the Fiend to come out and debut again and come back if Alexa Bliss is already doing the job? She's already doing the Fiend's job and going over Orton. So the Fiend coming back is just, it's not going to be as potent because Alexa Bliss every week is, I've already got it. Like my assistant, my valet, like my cohort has already got it. Why am I coming back if Alexa Bliss already has Orton together? Like she has Orton's number. I'm good. I don't have to come back. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's boring. It's terrible. I'm not enthused. All right, last question. What do you think about Shane calling Braun stupid boo boo Braun? That whole angle was just absolutely horrible. Oh, you know what? I'll answer yours, question, Aaron. We talked about that on the Raw show, Elvis, yesterday. Why does WWE always change black wrestlers' accent? Booker now, Apollo. He's going back to the roots. Going back to the roots. As if I'm just not intrigued. I'm just not. I mean, you keep trying all these things with these characters, and they're going to eventually be 50-50. Like, that's one of the biggest detriments of WWE is, like, people feel 50-50. Everybody's 50-50. Everybody. And so everybody feels like a transitional something. Develop the characters, WWE. Develop the characters. Otherwise, the fans will not be intrigued. Ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com/pancakes and Powerslams. I appreciate all your support. You guys are awesome. This is what I do for you. Ladies and gentlemen, 467 episodes in the books until next week. Enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.